Time to eat, Wyatt? So I'm really excited to try out this new high performance Apex Ultra steel. This steel was designed by Laren Thomas, who is a PhD metallurgical engineer from the USA, better known as the guy who wrote Knife Steel Nerds, the book, and Marco Gildman, who's a chef and a knife maker from Switzerland, and Tobias Hengler, who is a knife maker who studied metallurgy and is from Austria. These guys are the real deal, and this steel was designed specifically for forging and making kitchen knives. Apex Ultra is a steel truly worthy of handcrafted knives. It is a low alloy design that is forgeable, forge weldable, and its fine carbides make the steel relatively easy to finish and sharpen. With its high purity and well-balanced alloy composition, it has the highest toughness of all knife steels tested so far. With its combination of high hardness and toughness, Apex Ultra works very well in knives with thin, acute edges. Culinary knives, razors, and carving knives are examples of good applications for this steel. So this steel was designed for forging bladesmiths that want a steel with enhanced performance compared with the old standard simple alloys like 1084 and 1095. One of the major benefits of Apex Ultra versus other low alloy steels for forging is the increased wear resistance and the improved edge retention that it provides. The chromium addition increases the hardness of the cementite, and the tungsten and vanadium form hard carbides, all of which increases wear resistance. I cut a pattern so I can try to follow this pattern and forge it as close as possible to this pattern without grinding. Little update. So I decided to tape some thin pieces of sheet metal on top of the spine, and that's to keep from bumping up there above the grind line, because this is going to be a forged to finish knife since it was forged very thin. And so far that's working out really well. That's a good safety measure to make sure that you don't slip and bump above your grind line with the grinder. All right, so all the rough grinding is done. It's time to jump into hand sanding. Not my most favorite part of knife making, but it is necessary and the results will be awesome. So let's get to it. So when I'm sanding this Apex Ultra, I can tell it's super hard because the sandpaper barely digs in and it just skates right across it like ice. It is noticeably harder, very, very hard. I'm excited to see how this steel performs. All I had to do was glue the handle on. It was the last thing. And I tightened the file guide down here so I could have something to grab to pinch it together with the clamp. And the little screw was caught on the edge of the blade, and it snapped a chunk out of there, and it cracked it about up to here, right at the very end, after like 4 days of work on this thing. So I guess the only thing I can do is grind it down and remove some of the edge. But then it's going to be too thick at the edge, so I'm going to have to basically regrind all of that. Alright, so it's going to be okay. I reprofiled it, and it's still 2 1/8 inch here at the heel, so it's still plenty tall enough. It'll be a great knife. However, now it's super thick, so I am going to have to reprofile grind everything and rehand sand it again. But I'm going to save that for another day. So I'm headed over to Cy Swan's house to go Rockwell hardness test the knife and see what it comes out at. So one of my goals this year was to lean up, to lose a little bit of weight, and to get healthier. And so I'm supposed to be taking 10,000 steps a day. That's my goal. So I just parked at the bottom of Cy's driveway, super long driveway. I'm gonna make the walk, because that'll help me get my steps. And it's a beautiful walk. I hope to have a driveway like this someday. And here's Cy's house. Just kidding. He built this cabin in his younger days, though. Pretty sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna get right out on the edge there, Ryan.
Okay.
I got my rotary plants,
Oh, you did?
but I have to build an adapter. Okay, now we're gonna get a little different reading this time. See, we got 62.
Okay. All right, so the knife tested at 62. It's hard, but it's not nearly as hard as it's supposed to be, being that it's the Apex Ultra Steel. So I think it might possibly be because I didn't preheat my quench oil and the oil was cold. So I don't know, maybe some of you guys could chime in and let me know if you think preheating my oil would make a difference. I'm using AAA oil, which I think is a medium quench oil, so maybe I should use a faster quench oil. I don't know, what do you guys think? Because according to the charts, if you quench the Apex Ultra at 1430 degrees, it should come out at about a 64 Rockwell hardness, which is the bottom low end of the chart. And if you quench it at 1620 degrees, it should come out in the 68 to 69 range. So that's what I was hoping for. So this is how we learn. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. Definitely gonna preheat my oil next time, and maybe just do a little test chunk and then bring it back up here and test the hardness to make sure I can get that
just right.
.62 is still plenty hard enough for a high-performance kitchen knife. A lot of kitchen knives are between 60 and 64, and usually you don't want it any harder than that because then it'll get brittle. But that's one of the benefits of this Apex Ultra, is that you can get it ultra hard and it holds its edge retention and its toughness. So it's still going to be a great performing knife. I just wanted it to be harder, and so next time I will get it harder. So if you like seeing this kind of content, I would very much appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel, like this video, so I can keep showing you more content like this. It helps us out a ton. We'll see you on the next video.